Welcome back to another vlog review. Well, Thor's day has passed, and with it comes the release of Thor, the Dark World. And like an enchanted hammer from the god of thunder himself, it left quite the impression. So does this second follow-up to the Marvel franchise, taking place after the hit success of The Avengers, keep up the pace of its predecessor started? Yeah, it does! If you like the previous Marvel/Avengers movies, and quality film adaptations of classic comic book icons, then you will love this movie, because it's Marvel, and it's awesome. Taking place 2 years after the events of the Avengers, Jane Foster, as played by Natalie Portman, is still pining after the Asgardian god of thunder, Thor, as played by Chris Hemsworth. While Thor has been away restoring order to the fantastical 9 realms that surround Asgard, Jane has been studying some strange gravitational anomalies that have started popping up on Earth. Her studies lead her to an improbable run-in with a long-hidden ancient destructive artifact, and with its discovery comes the re-emergence of an old Asgardian foe thought long since extinct, the Dark Elves. The Elves, led by the vengeful Malekith, as played by Christopher Eccleston, seek Jane to extract the artifact now infecting her body and use it to plunge the universe into everlasting darkness. Thor will have to reunite with his earthling love interest and figure out a way to keep her and the 9 realms safe from Malekith's forces. But it seems the only way to accomplish this is to turn to his deceptive brother, Loki, as played by Tom Hiddleston. Fortunately, Thor the Dark World doesn't miss a beat when it comes to continuing the story already established by the previous films, and building on its own series. Unfortunately, if you are not familiar with the franchise, it's safe to say you will be pretty lost. The movie wastes no time jumping right into the science fantasy madcap action of Thor's world. Think Flash Gordon, but with way better special effects. The characters and writing are top-notch, as always, save for the few scenes that take place on Earth. Maybe it's his experience directing episodes of Game of Thrones, but director Alan Taylor can draw out grand dramatic performances from anything regarding the fantasy worlds. However, he can't seem to breathe any life into the performances from the Earthbound inhabitants. Natalie Portman's character is little more than a romantic MacGuffin, with no interesting characteristics or defining personalities. It's like having Padme all over again. Tom Hiddleston is still fantastic as the scheming, erratic Loki, and a fine counterbalance to Chris Hemsworth's brave and bold Thor. Of course, while Loki is entertaining, there is the possibility that the character will become oversaturated and start losing his appeal. But I'm happy to say the filmmakers know how to use the character effectively and when to hold him back to keep him from taking away too much of the focus. Unfortunately, that means that the movie suffers from a rather bland villain in Malekith, who doesn't have much character beyond stoic leader. Whether from a fluke or a conscious effort, I can see many other movie influences in Thor the Dark World. I mean, you've got the elves from Hellboy 2, the spaceships from Star Trek Into Darkness, and the crazy fights from Jumper of all places. It felt a bit much at times and a little scattershot, but it was entertaining nonetheless. I would recommend it for anyone that is already a fan of the franchise, maybe just wanting to jump into the superhero genre, or if you're just in the mood for some good old-fashioned sci-fantasy action. But that's it for me for now. Until next time, I'm Darren with Moving a Blender.